Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Brendan King from the Brendan King Group at Simply Vegas, and
Caroline Lazone from the Brendan King Group at Simply Vegas Real Estate as well.
And this is episode 6 of the still unnamed show, and it's going to stay that way. But hey, how's it going? We're back with just information about Las Vegas and things going on, restaurants, sports, entertainment, whatever we can bring you guys that brings value and information about things to do and where to go. So let's get started. Of course, can't forget this, Aviators tickets giveaway. Don't forget to text Aviators to 702-553-1955. Text Aviators to 702-553-1955. We actually gave away some tickets to somebody not too long ago. Francis Cortez, latest winner of 4 Aviators tickets. And again, these are right behind home plate. Congrats, Francis. I know you're going to go check out the game next week. I think we only have 7 games left, so don't forget to text Aviators to 702-553-1955. And, of course, can't forget this, two-sport Cody Thomas hits his stride with the Aviators. So Cody Thomas has been on a run. He's got a 313 batting average, 11 home runs, 28 RBIs, all since June. So they've been on a roll. The team's been on a roll. Cody especially has been on a roll. He's a two-sport athlete from the Sooners. So not only baseball, but also was a quarterback at the Sooners football team, and now killing it right now for the Aviators, which is nice to see. Woo-hoo. They were kind of in a little rut for a little while, and now they've been on a roll. So if you want to check out the game, don't forget to text us. We can easily get you 4 tickets behind home plate.
Now I want to go check it out.
Text Aviators 702-553-1955. Obviously, with the Aviators on a roll, I know you're back at O. Mm-hmm. So if everybody doesn't know, Caroline actually works at the show O and somehow still kills it in real estate at the same time. How's O going?
O is going great. We are sold out until October. I feel like people are really excited to be back with live entertainment. Everyone on stage is really happy. Everyone in the house is very happy. We're trying to abide, COVID protocol and everything.
The show's already changed in a small period of time.
And, everyone in the house.
Hey, zebra. There's the zebra.
Yeah, that's me in costume. Everyone has to wear masks in the house. Everyone on stage has to wear masks now, which is a challenge when you're in a water show.
So wait, water show... And you have to wear a mask. Yeah,
so we wear them for things that we stay dry. If we have to go in the pool, we remove it when we can. It's a little complicated, but we make it work. And we try not to have them float around the pool. So it's been a bit tricky, but
little mask boats floating around.
Everybody just wants to make it work. We're just really happy to be back on stage and make everyone, smile again. And everyone in the house is really happy to have us. So we're willing to do anything to make it work. So
and it sounds like the audiences are loving it. If you guys are sold out until when?
Well, at least end of September, October. So,
that's great.
It seems like we're doing good.
Entertainment is back, except...
Yes, so Cirque du Soleil is pumping the brakes on CA's reopening. You have to take consideration that CA is a huge production. It has a lot of employees. It's really expensive.
If I remember, it's, I think, the most expensive Cirque show ever.
Well, just in manpower, it takes 200 technicians to run this show, so plus the artists and everything. So it's definitely the most expensive production. So I think that's... in consideration with the surge of COVID and everything right now. So they are set to reopen before the end of the year, I think in November. Okay. But MJ1 and Love are set to come back. They're rehearsing right now, and
I think MJ1 is coming back August 19th and Love is coming back August 26th.
26th,
right?
Yeah. And they're rehearsing right now. Everyone's really excited. So look forward for that. If you want to see live entertainment again, you can get your tickets online. And
nothing's better than seeing a Cirque show if you haven't seen one. But if you've ever seen Lance Burton, the magician, he's magically leaving Las Vegas. He's selling his $4 million mansion out at the, I think it's called the Black Mountain. Let me see here. So he was a headliner for more than 30 years. And this particular house, he wanted it to look like a haunted mansion from like movies back when he was a kid, which is pretty funny. 3-story, 6-bedroom, 14,376 square feet. and 10 acres in the Black Mountains. Honestly, I was showing a house not too far from this one, and I looked up, and literally it looks like an old castle. So he wanted it to look like a haunted mansion from the old, like, mysterious horror movies.
Definitely a one of a kind.
I have a hard time when my kids were little, just with the darkness in their room. I can't imagine if they had to look at a house like this too. But yeah, he's moving to Kentucky. He's moving on, but he spent a ton of years as a headliner here, 30 years. So unfortunately, Vegas loses Lance Burton, but some lucky buyer is going to buy a pretty cool house.
And speaking of properties for sale, special properties for sale, the Top Chef house is up for sale. It hosted the Las Vegas season over a decade ago. And so if you're interested, give us a call. That house is listed at $4 million. It's a 5-bedroom, 5-bath, 6,738 square feet. Wow,
amazing
it's
view.
Gorgeous. Yeah.
I didn't see a killer kitchen for a Top Chef house, but I didn't actually see the kitchen in the images. Oh, there it is. There it is.
There we go.
But I think, this is where the contestants stayed when they did the show. So, of course, if you want to check that out, all the links to everything for any of this information we're giving are all in the additional details below or in the link in our bio. No matter what, we've got a page with all the links. So moving up from that, we actually want to remind you that every single week, every Monday, we put out the market update. So today we actually just filmed the market update for July 29th through August 4th. So look out for that video and for the links on that as well. But every single Monday, we always do a market update. And if you want to get a text with the market information, feel free to text market to 702-553-1955. We'll get you on our list as well for the market update, and we can text it directly to you. So that's me. So on the moratorium. So this is a endless back and forth, and I know there's a lot of people that have a lot to say about this. So the end of the moratorium is coming. However, the CDC had said that they're going to put a stop to that. So there's a big battle about it right now between landlords and tenants and figuring out really what we should do right now. And honestly, I could see both sides. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out, but the eviction moratorium should be ending soon. But right now it just kind of keeps getting kicked down the street to a different week, different month. So just keep watching. We'll update you on what's going on. But right now it's not happening right now, but it's definitely eventually going to happen. It's really a matter of where this all plays out.
We're all following this very closely.
Yeah. Because we have a lot of investors that have tenants in situations, but equally we also understand that on the tenant side, people are also in need of assistance. So hopefully they can come up with a plan that helps both sides, that makes sense to everybody. I know today I had to get up a little earlier than normal.
Special day today. Yeah. Back to school.
We were all riding around trying to remember where our kids' schools are and where to enter and what's the right line for what grade. But what's going on today?
Well,
today's a big day.
Everyone's back in school for the first time in over a year, and I think everyone's very excited to see their friends in person and not be online on the computer all day. So 300,000 kids were returning to school today, so that's very exciting. Everyone in mask above 2 years old. So everyone's trying to keep the schools open. So, everyone's very excited about that.
Yep, my kids were definitely excited. Ella went to her first day of middle school today, and her sister was on the committee to welcome everybody to the school. So her sister's there with pom-poms. And
so good.
Of course, she's hiding from her mom and dad because she doesn't want us to see her. But Ella went back today for her first day of middle school, which is huge.
Oh, well, I hope it went well for everyone.
Yeah, for sure.
In other news, MGM donates land for Route 91 memorial site at site of shooting. And that's pretty cool. They're gonna have a sign up at the site where you can give ideas on what it should be, what it should be named, what you think it should be.
And a lot of us were here and went through all this, so I'm sure all of us in the whole city would love for people's opinions on what what they should do with this site. So there will be a sign going up. We'll get more details when that time comes. But you're going to be able to give your own ideas for how this memorial should be, what they should do with it, what they should do with the land that MGM is nice enough to dedicate to the memorial.
It's really nice of MGM to do that.
Yeah. And speaking of MGM, actually, on another note, so they actually are selling off their land, their land corporation, I should say. It's called MGM Growth Properties. So a lot of people were confused by this. MGM is not selling MGM. MGM is selling the company that they own that owns the land that the hotels exist on. So they've actually made a deal with Caesars Entertainment spinoff Vici Properties. Vici. I have to check on how to pronounce that exactly. But MGM is not selling itself, but they are actually selling the land that they sit on to another company. This is actually a common situation. It happens a lot. The land on the Strip changes hands quite often that a lot of times we're not aware of. But the value of this is $17.2 billion. So that little sliver of land has the value of some countries around the world. So yeah, that's a pretty major transaction in Vegas. And another major thing, honestly, I was out of town for a few days, and I came back to crazy weather and tons of rain. What else is going on here?
So lots of smoky, hazy condition ahead for Las Vegas as these fires continue to happen in California, which is now, I think, it was named the biggest fire ever in California. So hopefully they can get that sorted out soon so that we can return to breathing some good air.
Couldn't even see the mountains for
no,
a few
you
days.
couldn't see. Like from my house, I couldn't see the Strip. That's how hazy it was, and no mountains to be seen. So yeah, some pretty white skies and hazy temperature ahead. But yeah, no, monsoon's over.
But it was nice to get some rain.
Oh, yes.
Honestly, I sat outside a few times and just literally just watched it fall. I was like, get outside to my kids. I was like, you don't get to see this very often in Vegas. So
it was humid.
It was so nice.
We don't know what humidity is here. It's amazing.
I quite enjoyed it. When I was in Florida, that's a whole other level of humidity. But it was nice to have in Vegas for a few days.
Absolutely.
So closing ceremonies took place yesterday for the Olympics. I am bummed. I personally love the Olympics. And unfortunately, that means no more late nights watching beach volleyball and badminton and table tennis, like all these things.
Yeah, you had to
when
stay
is table
up
tennis
late.
on TV? You know, and I look across the street and my neighbor was she's got a new ping pong table in her garage, and I was like, I'm sure that's inspired by the Olympics.
By the Olympics.
I always get a little bummed when it ends, but thankfully, due to a little bit of the pushback on the Olympics, the Winter Olympics are going to come even faster than normal because of the fact that the actual Olympics was a little later as well. Or I should say the Summer Olympics, I should say. But also America pulled it out finally in the end. The USA actually did win on gold medals and the overall medal count. But honestly, China was right on our heels.
Oh, yeah.
I think we were talking about this before we started today. It's interesting to watch how each country has its specialty. You know, certain countries are the best at badminton, certain countries are the best at table tennis. Literally, I watched China destroy everyone in table tennis. But that's kind of my favorite part, is that each country really has their sports that are near and dear, and that you like pentathlon. Like that's something when would I ever get a chance to watch the pentathlon besides the Olympics? And even Springsteen's daughter winning equestrian. Like it's just it's a fun time. I really, really love it.
And Gila Liberte's daughter was at the Olympics as well in equestrian.
Oh, no way. Yeah. So the founder of Cirque du Soleil's daughter was also there in equestrian?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Well,
fun fact.
Yeah. So nobody knows anything more about of course, diving much more than I do than Caroline.
Yeah, so I always love watching the Olympics. I mean, it's been a dream of mine since I was a kid. So I watched the Olympics with all my heart. I love it. But diving, especially because it was my sport, there was this 14-year-old.
It wasn't just your sport. I think you forgot to mention that you were on the national team in Canada.
Yes,
That's
I was on the
amazing.
Canadian national team for Canada on the 10-meter platform. I was actually.
And if anybody has ever jumped off a 10-meter platform, it is like cliff diving, but on purpose.
The first time I went up there, I said, I'm never jumping off this thing ever. And then it became my specialty. So, but you build up to it, but it's pretty high.
And the translation of 10 meters is 30 feet for anybody who's not doing that math. But that's 3 stories. It's crazy.
Yeah. But you get used to it like anything, you know.
Yeah.
But so this little 14-year-old Chinese diver scored perfect dive 3 times. That's unheard of. She broke the Olympic record, the world record, and she's only 14 years old.
So if the Olympics happened when they should have,
she wouldn't have been there.
That's
so
insane.
yeah. So, and I believe this was one of her first international meets. China decided she's so good, we're going to put her, but it was kind of a risky move. They knew that she was really good, but they put her on there and she delivered. She was amazing.
So 14, she could do it 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
So, I mean, she's already won the Olympics, but hopefully she'll be there again in 4 years.
What do you win after the Olympics in diving?
You win them again, like Simone Biles.
Speaking of Simone Biles.
It was nice to see that she did return to the competition after pulling out of all, team event and all around. So it was nice to see her kind of just come back for beam and win bronze. I'm sure it was a big accomplishment for her. After announcing to the world that she had the case of the twisties.
This is legit. I know.
This is legit.
And you're quite aware of it. Why?
Yes. So it actually ended my diving career. This is why I quit diving back in 2003. I got also a case of the twisties. Every time I was flipping backwards, I was starting to twist and I got lost in my tricks. And to kind of explain what it would be for a normal person is kind of going downstairs really quickly. You go step, and then you kind of miss a step. You kind of have what we call a brain fart. Well, this is what twisties is you do these tricks hundreds of times in trainings, and one day you get there, and it's like your brain forgot,
and subconsciously it's really hard to get back out there.
It's very scary. Right? Yeah. And so if you're, for instance, in my case, like throwing yourself off a 10-meter platform and you don't really know if you're going to do the skill that you're
30 feet. 30 feet.
It's scary. It's very scary. So for Simone to pull out, I think was a really smart move, because all of the tricks that she does are extremely difficult. She does a million twists. On floor, on vault, on bars. So I can imagine she was extremely scared, and so I sympathize, and I think it was a good call. But it was nice to see her come back and win bronze on beam, and hopefully she gets better. And
she was able to take out the twists in the balance beam and do a double pike, I think it was, because there's no twisting in a pike.
Yep.
But still, I'm sure it took a lot of bravery to get out there. So
absolutely,
good job, Simone. That's it's pretty huge. Yeah.
She's still the GOAT.
Yeah. I watch her tumbling passes, and I know many people that are not capable of that. That nobody's capable of that, but many men even that are not capable of that. In the past, it wasn't always the situation where a girl could do things that a lot of Olympic level men couldn't do. Yeah. Like, that's insane. She's incredible.
Yeah. So it was nice to see her.
Yeah, congrats, Simone. Well deserved. You're still the greatest of all time. Exactly. It's pretty amazing. So Reeves from the Knights is not on the team anymore, but he and Marc-Andre Fleury both unfortunately have moved on to other teams. But he did mention that his beer will remain. So he does have, I believe it's an IPA. So Reeves, unfortunately, is no longer with the Golden Knights, but his beer will stay, which is hilarious. And then also on everyone's got tons of hype right now regarding the Raiders. So Raiders training camp July 27th through August 31st. This weekend, actually, they had fans in the stands for training, which was really cool to see. I know a lot of people were posting all weekend on social media at practice, waving to all the players and interacting, which I'm sure feels really good for the team right now while they're in training camp toward the end to have a little crowd and have people come and just support them. So Coming on, what is it? August 14th is the first preseason game. So August 14th against the Seattle Seahawks. And then the start of the season is Monday Night Football on September 13th against the Baltimore Ravens. So Monday Night Football is a great way to start a season for sure. And, I go Raiders, honestly. I'm from New York. I never thought I would say go Raiders, but I'm a Raiders fan. So go Raiders. We're very excited about you guys this season, first season with fans.
Yeah.
So the owner of the team was adamant that no matter what, they would not start until they could have a full stadium. So on September 13th, that'll be the first full stadium, all fans. It's pretty awesome.
Super awesome. And if you can't make it to the stadium, here's a list of NFL bars in Vegas with different teams. So if you're a Green Bay fan, there's a bar for it. If you're a Broncos fan, there's a bar for it in Vegas. So the Review Journal put together a little list of places that we can catch these games
which
at.
Is pretty fun,
with your fans, with your friends.
I know a lot of friends in New York City. When my wife and I used to live in New York City, this was a common thing where people could go to their Green Bay Packers bar or the Bears bar.
Yeah, it's fun. You cheer with your peers.
It's
fun.
Yeah. So the nice thing about big cities is that we have this opportunity to go support your local team from back home. And Amy's a Packers fan. That's now a Raiders fan. You hear that? A Raiders fan. She is a Raiders fan now. But so everybody in Wisconsin, don't be mad. But then on our team, Jack Palermo is actually originally from Chicago, big Bears fan. So he told us Amore, Taste of Chicago, is a good option for anybody who's a big Bears fan. They have deep dish Chicago style pizza and, of course, nothing but Bears games. So you want to watch Bears football or Blackhawks this winter, go check out, what is it, Taste of Amore? Amore, Taste of Chicago, sorry. Thanks, Jack, for that recommendation. And, that pizza looks really good.
I know. I'm hungry now. And speaking of food, here's a little guide to outdoor patios here in Vegas. The weather, even though it's hot during the day, it's still kind of nice to sit outside at night. So here's a little list of outdoor patios where you can go dine out.
And honestly, all the links to this information is, of course, linked up with the video as well. And Eater is an awesome way to find different restaurants or patios or ice cream, whatever it is you like. Eater is such a great site.
Absolutely.
I find myself drooling sometimes clicking through all the different restaurants on there. So definitely check it out. And of course, don't forget, if you are interested in Aviators tickets, text Aviators to 702-553-1955. I believe there's only 7 or 8 games left, so hurry up and text Aviators to 702-553-1955. Again, thank you so much. Another episode of the Unnamed show. It's still unnamed. We like it that way. We're leaving it that way. We'll absolutely see you guys next week. And if there's any information or comments you want to mention about different things that we should bring up on the show, please go ahead and give us some advice. We're always willing to take it. We'll add anything you want and any information you need. But again, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.